Shadows flicker in the corner of our vision. Whispers echo in empty rooms. Footsteps fall where no one walks. For centuries, we've called them ghosts. But what if we've been wrong all along? What if the things we think are spirits are really echoes from another world, another time, or something not even human at all?
Welcome back to Ghost Tracks Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Tina,
And I'm Molly.
and we've been quite busy, hence the very late arrival of this episode. But that just means that we have more to talk about because, well, we've had a lot happen. We have a new toy. You can't really see. I'm going to scoot it over. Oh, that's good. I'm sorry. We have
Oops.
fancy headphones. Or not headphones, microphones now. We do have headphones that we're wearing. We have a cool little soundboard over here.
We can now hear ourselves.
Making voices. Oh my gosh.
I can be a robot. I don't like robots.
What about a man?
I don't like this rock.
We don't like talking like this. Well, I do.
Rawr. But yeah, so we have a soundboard and we have new microphones and headphones, apparently.
Yeah.
And it took far too long for us to figure out how to get this shit working. Like, far too long.
I think like 5 hours we've been trying to get this thing
No.
set up.
It was delivered by 3. So
Okay.
really, I guess all in all, not too
Wow.
bad. A little less than 2 hours.
Feels
So
longer.
it felt so much longer. I got frustrated. I left the room and went and hung up laundry, if that tells you anything.
You chose laundry
I
over
chose
dealing with
laundry.
this technology bullshit.
Yeah, but we've done 3 overnight investigations since, well, we did 1. Our last episode came out kinda in between Hannah House and then right before we were going to ISS and Billy Creek.
Mhm.
Um, but then we went and did those 2 things, and life has just been lifing real hard around here. We got back on and did our live on TikTok last night. We carved pumpkins. It was a lot of fun. I stabbed myself in the finger, which I knew I would do.
I glued my pumpkin together with nail glue and tacky glue.
She she cut off a piece of her design by accident, so she nail glued it, and,
Mhm.
I mean, it worked out,
It
kinda,
worked.
I guess.
My finger was glued to it for a little. Yeah.
Yeah. But the pumpkins are outside,
Yeah.
and we had fun on the live. It was really fun. Getting to talk to people. The only downside was we were gonna have a guest on with us, and her computer was misbehaving, so I'm really sad about that. Hi, Heather. We missed you, but we'll have you on soon.
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technology has just been kind of a pain in the ass lately. Like,
Mhm.
what the fuck? It's supposed to make our lives easier.
Yep. We went and saw Annabelle. We drove all the way
Yes.
out there and saw
Mhm.
Annabelle, and Molly got to meet someone that she, like, loves.
Hello, Ryan Buell. You're probably not listening. Watching
No. She has definitely watched you.
you. Mhm.
But yeah, it was really cool going in there, getting to see Annabelle in person, getting to see her original rocking chair in person, and then there were quite a few other artifacts there. I was actually surprised at the quantity of how many there were. And then we didn't know what we were going to be completely honest. We walked in there, well, we bought the tickets, we looked it up. Molly found it after her Haunted Dolls episode. Saw she was still on tour, so we saw they were selling tickets to go see her, and we were like, "Hell yeah, we're
Yeah.
totally doing that." So we went to do it, but we didn't know, like, it was part of like a Paracon expo, and I had no idea, so we were trying to figure out, like, what the hell this whole thing was gonna be. But we got there and there were just vendors everywhere. And I was like, "Okay, this is actually pretty fucking cool." So we got to meet a lot of podcasters, a
Yes.
lot of paranormal investigative teams, YouTube personalities, TV personalities. They had mediums there. They had all kinds
Mhm.
of vendors there. And then they had the Warrens Museum set up in the back in a, enclosed room and everything.
They had spooters downstairs that I gotta play with.
Yeah, she got in touch with
She wouldn't let
spiders,
me
and I
take
didn't
one
like it.
home.
No, I did not. Ickies.
Not ickies.
Ickies.
It was very cute. If you saw its little face. Oh, yeah, it's really cute.
If it's not a jumping spider, I don't think it's
Its
cute.
face looks like a jumping spider. Had the little eyeballs and was looking at me and was like, "Hello,
Nope.
take me home.
Nope.
I'm furry. You
Nope.
can pet me."
Mm-mm. I'll stick with my cats and being furry. But yeah, no, we've been all over the place. Um, but we've had a lot of fun, got to see a lot of things, experience a lot of
Yeah.
things. Um, IPSI is gonna be on with us soon.
No, I cannot wait to talk about everything that
Uh-huh.
we've experienced. In fact, it's become such an addiction of mine now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Can we go again? I wanna go again. What are we gonna do next?"
Yep.
Like,
Oh, well, we've got lists long of where to go next.
she's got a haunted mirror downstairs, and I'm like, "Let's set up the REM pod.
We do.
I just wanna interact."
I have a mirror. It was given to me. It was said to be from the 1800s. On our way to Annabelle, we were kinda joking around about just stuff in general. I think we were talking about Annabelle, and I was like, "Well, I've been driving around for, like, 2 months with a probably haunted mirror in my back seat, so, whatever." And so Molly got out Ghost Tube and held it out and was like, "Hello, are you haunted?" And it said, "Not very. Be quiet."
Silence.
And then it said something else, and it said Jean. So we've just
Yeah,
been calling the mirror Jean since.
her name is Jean. I
And
hear weird sounds now.
yeah, but she's finally in the house, not in my car. She's no longer a car ghost, but a house ghost.
Yeah.
She got hung up right there kind of by the front door. She's beautiful. I love her.
It's a very pretty mirror.
Yep. So, I don't know. Nothing nothing bad has happened.
No, we
Not
just hear
yeah, she's
weird
just
shit now.
that's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm sure there was weird sounds in my car that I just couldn't hear because of the music that I play, all the way up.
Who knows? Who knows?
But what are we talking about today?
Well, today we're talking about beyond the veil.
Mm,
What's really there? Is it spirits? Is it aliens? Is it something else? Is it our imagination? Who knows?
maybe all of the above,
Yep. We're
depending.
going to try to impart some wisdom on you guys. Got to put your thinking caps on. Got to think outside of the box. So, well, most of us know what a ghost is by definition, a soul that has departed from the deceased and has either been lost on earth in some ghostly plane trapped behind the veil. Perhaps you believe that loved ones from the beyond can pop in from time to check in on you. Have you heard footsteps that could not be explained, voices coming from seemingly nowhere, doors opening and closing on their own, or objects falling off of shelves? What if we are attributing these occurrences to being that of a ghost? Because that has been our go to theory and we've accepted it as that reason and haven't given much thought to anything else. In this episode, we're going to provoke some thoughts, and possibly by the end of this episode, you will be questioning everything you've ever known or thought to be ghosts and may in turn be entirely something else. Well, have you ever walked down the street and suddenly felt like you stepped straight into another century? That's what people call a time slip. It's when someone unexpectedly finds themselves in what looks like a completely different era. Old buildings, strange clothes, even people who don't quite belong in our time. Unlike the sci fi idea of hopping through a time machine, time slips are said to happen by accident, quick and disorienting. Some believe they're glitches in space and time, or maybe even overlaps in parallel worlds. Others chalk it up to tricks of the mind, memory mix ups, misinterpretations, or just really vivid imaginations. Famous stories like the Versailles incident or Liverpool's Bold Street slip have become modern legends, even if science isn't exactly on board. Still makes you wonder, right? What if the weird deja vu you felt wasn't really in your head? You be the judge. I myself have experienced time slips with no explanation, like losing an hour and a half and having no idea where that hour and a half went. Or even my friend Felicity, where she routinely wakes up at the same time every day and went to drop her son off at school. And it was 9:30 when the last time she looked at the time, it was like 7 o'clock. So she has no explanation of where that whole hour went. So, have you ever experienced any time slips?
Not that I can recall off the top of my head, no. No, but I have deja vu like a motherfucker.
I know.
It's really bad.
I was thinking about you a lot when I was doing this, writing all this up.
Yeah, no, deja vu for me is probably the worst part of, like the time parallels and stuff like that for me.
Well, maybe after this, maybe we'll have more understanding of it. On to the Versailles incident, 1901. Two English women, Charlotte Anne Moberly and Eleanor Jourdan, visited the gardens of the Palace of Versailles in France. While wandering, they suddenly felt a strange heaviness in the atmosphere. They reported seeing people in outdated clothing, including a woman sketching who looked a lot like Marie Antoinette herself. The experience was so vivid that they later wrote a book claiming that they slipped back into the late 1700s. I would love to do that. Take me back.
Mm, I don't know.
I want to be able to hop in and hop out.
We are girls. We would have been beheaded, tortured, hung, burned at the stake, stoned to death.
Well, they have to catch me first.
All of the I ain't running, girl. I don't run.
Well, you know what? Maybe if they didn't wear those big old poofy clothes, so like
It's
put
where
some
they
tennis
keep their
shoes on.
secret.
We got joggers, yoga pants.
They'd be looking at
Maybe
us
that's why they
going,
didn't want women wearing fucking pants and shit
"Oh, they
because they
thought we kept our spells in there." There's a whole thing about it.
and pockets.
Mhm.
Well,
Can't have pockets. It's where we keep our spells.
well, that is
It's
true.
where we keep our
You
rocks.
know where I keep my spells? Right in here in the booby trap.
In the booby trap.
In the booby trap. That's where I
They didn't
trap
have
all my
booby
spells.
traps
That's where
back
I
then
keep my
either.
rocks. Sometimes they end up in my underwear because they just travel down from the bra into the pants. Well, that Versailles incident wasn't the only incident that had happened. There was the Bold Street slip in Liverpool. Bold Street in Liverpool is famous for its alleged time slips. One of the most popular stories is about a man in the 1900s who was walking down the street and suddenly found himself surrounded by 1950s storefronts, cars, and people dressed from that era. Just as quickly, he snapped back into present day. Over the years, multiple people have reported similar jumps in different decades while walking along the same street.
Hmm.
Hmm, is right.
Highly suspect.
Maybe you yourself have experienced a time slip. Here are some characteristics. Time slips happen out of the blue. No warning, no buildup. In Versailles, Moberly and Jardin was talking about how the atmosphere just suddenly changed. The air felt heavy, everything around them seemed oddly still, and then bam! Without realizing it, they were surrounded by people in centuries old clothing. On Bold Street, witnesses often say 1 second they're walking past a modern shop and then they're staring at the storefronts and cars of decades earlier. Okay, and I looked up this word anachronism.
Anachronisms. That's a fun word.
A new word,
That's
anachronism.
a fun word.
It's a
We like
fun
it.
word. We like it.
Put that above like SpongeBob.
Anachronisms.
Imagination. Anachronation. Anachronisms.
Anywho, anachronisms, yes. The hallmark of time slip is encountering things that don't belong to the present.
I think there's less noise when we're up close. But I didn't
Maybe.
want to be up
Oh,
close.
I kind of like the way I
I
sound
know,
like this.
but I didn't want to be
Hello,
that close.
I'm all
All
sultry.
right. Well, I guess you guys get to see our mics then, because I think this sounds better. I'm
I,
so sorry.
you know what? Hang on.
Lower it, girl.
But
And then just scoot forward.
like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we gonna have to record this whole thing over again?
Oh, God, probably. Lord
We
help
got
us.
new toys.
We have no idea what we're doing either. We're not professionals here, guys. I don't know if anyone rolled up here thinking that we were. You were sorely mistaken. Our apologies.
I never claimed to be a professional.
I didn't either, but I feel like somewhere along the line, somebody thought that we were.
Oh, well, they
Rude
thought wrong.
awakening.
They thought
Rude
wrong.
awakening.
Anyways, anachronisms.
For the 18th time, anachronisms.
Okay, in case we forgot, it's the hallmark. Okay, anachronisms. The hallmark of a time slip is encountering things that don't belong to the present. At Versailles, the women reported seeing men in cloaks and hats, women in 18th century gowns, and even someone they believed to be Marie Antoinette sketching in the gardens. On Bold Street, experiencers have seen 1950 cars, 1950s, 1950s. Not the 50s, not the 50s. Well, those cars were parked along the curb. Shop signs advertising. Anyway, what was I saying?
50s cars.
Okay, on Bold Street, experiencers have seen 1950s. I'm just laughing at how many times I've had to say this over again.
No one's going to know what anachronisms are because you can't finish the paragraph.
Well, this isn't a definition of anachronisms. It's just what has happened as part of the anachronisms. So, anachronisms. The hallmark.
Oh my God. Give me that thing.
You read it. You read that part.
I'm
'Cause
going to read it
I can't be serious.
because Molly is having a moment over here. All right. Anachronisms.
You better keep this in. 'Cause
Take
this is fucking funny.
43.
This is funny.
All right. Anachronisms are
Sorry, I'm good.
the hallmark of a time slip is encountering things that don't belong to the present. At Versailles, the women reported seeing men in cloaks and hats, women in 18th century gowns, and even someone that they believed was Marie Antoinette sketching in the gardens. On Bold Street, experiencers have seen 1950s cars parked along the curb, shop signs advertising long gone brands, and fashions that don't match the modern world.
Very well.
What's the actual clapping one? Like, why is that not on there? We're gonna have to
Snaps.
record a fucking sound for that because why does that not have
I keep thinking that that's going to be like,
it's not.
it's not.
So, fleeting nature. I didn't write this. So, we're gonna I'm gonna read a little bit, get our lives together over here.
Mm-hmm.
These events didn't last long. At Versailles, the Shh,
It's contagious.
I'm reading here.
Sorry.
At Versailles, the women described it as a strange walk that felt both dreamlike and brief before everything snapped back to normal. On Bold Street, people usually report the illusion fading after just a few minutes, sometimes even seconds, as if a curtain was pulled back to reveal the present day again. Unlike the science fiction idea of stepping into a time machine, no one chooses a time slip. It just kind of happens. Moberly and Jordan
Mm-hmm. Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Didn't go to Versailles looking to travel back to the 1700s. They were simply touring the gardens. Likewise, people on Bold Street weren't trying to summon the past, they were usually just out shopping or strolling when they found themselves in another decade without explanation.
Good job. I think I can pull my stuff together.
You got it now?
Yeah.
Pass it.
No promises. No promises. These qualities are what make time slips so unsettling and so fascinating. They strike ordinary people in ordinary places, which raises an eerie question. If it happened to them, it could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on to some theories and explanations. Not as fun to think about, but if you're a truth seeker like I am, maybe you want to know all sides of the spectrum and then come up with your own conclusion. Some researchers and believers see time slips as evidence of something bigger than our reality. They suggest these moments are glitches in space time, where two different errors brush against each other, allowing people to temporarily step through the veil. Others believe they may be proof of parallel universes, layers in reality stacked together, where occasionally the walls thin and we glimpse another timeline running alongside ours. In this view, time slips are not illusions, but genuine crossings into another reality.
Skeptics point to the power of the mind. Unusual sensory input, like strange light, echoes, or even certain smells, can trick the brain into misinterpreting the environment. Add in memory distortions or the brain's tendency to fill in gaps with imagination, and perfectly normal street or garden could seem foreign or out of place. Some argue that time slips are a form of lucid dreaming or waking dreams, where people briefly enter a heightened state of imagination that feels real. Medical science offers other possibilities. Conditions such as temporal lobe epilepsy are known to cause vivid hallucinations, deja vu, and distortions of time and space. Similarly, stress, fatigue, or even changes in blood pressure can cause brief disassociation, moments where reality feels strange or unreal. To someone unfamiliar with these effects, the experience could easily be interpreted as a brush with another era. Many of the most famous time slip cases, like the Versailles incident or Liverpool's Bold Street, rely entirely on personal testimony. No physical evidence has ever been produced, and the details often shift as the stories are retold. Over time, these accounts have taken on a life of their own, evolving into urban legends. Whether they're true experiences or not, they've become part of modern folklore, blending mystery, local history, and human imagination. This mix of theories is what keeps time slips so captivating. They sit right at the crossroads of science, psychology, and the paranormal, leaving us to wonder, are they real glimpses through time or just stories we tell ourselves when reality gets a little too strange? I told you guys we were going to get you thinking today.
Just maybe my brain's just not thinking
We're
right.
just not thinking today. I hope you guys are thinking
Are you
today.
thinking?
We are not. Our brains are off.
No.
OF.
And I'm Molly's overheating.
And Molly's having hot flashes.
Yeah.
Okay. Not all hauntings are caused by restless spirits trying to get our attention. Some are more like a cosmic replay button. A residual haunting is when a place seems to hold on to the energy of a powerful moment, like an emotional recording etched into the walls, the ground, or even the air itself. Imagine walking across an old battlefield and suddenly hearing the clash of swords or seeing ghostly soldiers locked in combat. Only they don't notice you, and they're not really there. It's not a spirit with unfinished business, but more like a video loop of the past playing over and over again. No interaction, no awareness, just echoes of history that refuse to fade.
Residual hauntings are often described as a kind of psychic memory left behind in a place when something incredibly traumatic or emotionally charged happens. It's believed that the energy of that moment can be stamped into the environment. In replays of the past, think about it as a cosmic DVR. The scene doesn't change, the people involved don't interact. It simply plays on repeat, like an old film stuck on a loop, not a living spirit. These aren't intelligent ghosts with unfinished business. They don't notice you, they don't respond. They're echoes, residual energy acting out a memory of the past. Why battlefields often hold residual hauntings? Because they have intense emotion. Few places carry more raw, overwhelming energy than a battlefield. Agony, fear, rage, and death. All of these emotions are thought to burn themselves into the land. That energy just doesn't disappear, it lingers, etched into a location like a scar. Over time, it can replay again and again and again, manifesting as ghostly soldiers marching, the clash of weapons, or distant cries that no one alive is making. So, could this be true? Are we witnessing an endless loop of history replaying itself, or could it be something different? such as a timeline running over and over again in the past, and we are catching a glimpse of it. Now we're going to talk about aliens or interdimensional beings. Now, what if there's a completely different possibility? What if those spooky happenings are really just interdimensional beings or aliens? There's been some more recent claims about time and UAPs. In the past few years, whistleblowers, including former intelligence officers and military insiders, have stepped forward claiming that the government knows far more about unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, than it admits. Some even suggest that there's evidence of technology or experiences that challenge our understanding of time itself. Certain members of Congress, like Representative Anna Paulina Luna, have gone on the record after classified briefings hinting they've seen evidence of what they describe as movement outside of time and space. While details remain heavily guarded, statements like these have only fueled speculation. Among the more fringe but fascinating ideas is the interdimensional hypothesis, the belief that UFOs and UAPs aren't necessarily visitors from other planets, but manifestations from alternate dimensions bleeding into ours. While this theory has been circulating among ufologists for decades, official bodies like the Pentagon tend to stick to more conventional explanations, things like atmospheric anomalies, sensor errors, or even advanced foreign aircrafts. Perhaps our brains are filtering certain information out, which would make it more difficult to see these things. Scientific research has shown that our brains are always filtering and editing the flood of sensory information around us, making sure we're not overwhelmed by every little detail. But here's the catch: our biology is only tuned into a narrow band of reality. If interdimensional beings exist, they would fall outside the limits of human perception, meaning our brains simply aren't built to detect them. Even without the brain's filters, human perception itself is incredibly limited. We only catch a tiny slice of the universe's full picture. Well, I need my brain to start filtering some things out because it's like, ooh, this over here is lighting up. Ooh, this is lighting up. Oh, I'm hot. So, our eyes only pick up a narrow band of electromagnetic spectrum. To us, that's visible light. But bees can see ultraviolet patterns on flowers that are completely invisible to us. And our ears are tuned in to specific frequency range, which leaves out a lot. Dogs can hear whistles from far away, and bats navigate using ultrasonic calls we'll never hear naturally. In short, our senses give us a thin window of reality. There's so much happening around us that we'll never directly perceive. The interdimensional beings hypothesis is the idea that our brains might be filtering interdimensional beings is fascinating, but it's still purely speculative. There's no scientific evidence of such beings existing, which brings us to altered states of consciousness. Some people point to altered states as possible clues. Anecdotal reports from those who have taken psychedelics or had near death experiences often describe a thinning of the veil, where the brain's usual filters seem to drop away. In these states, people report vivid, unusual perceptions that feel profoundly real. But it's important to remember that these are subjective experiences inside the mind, not verified proof of something external. Among UFOologists, one popular theory suggests that UFOs or UAPs aren't visitors from another planet, but glimpses of beings or craft from a parallel dimension overlapping with ours. The bottom line: our brains you definitely filter reality. But stretching that idea to say we're missing whole dimensions of beings is a leap beyond current science. It's a captivating thought experiment, but still firmly in the realm of speculation. What if the shadow in your bedroom isn't grandma's ghost, but a being from another realm slipping into ours? Given that there's so much more to be learned on the subject, it's up to you to use discernment about what to believe. I would be moving into sleep paralysis. Familiar with it?
Yeah,
Me too.
definitely.
There's a lot that goes into sleep paralysis that we just don't even really know much about. So, sleep paralysis is a scary experience and one that, if had, it's not easy one to forget. The immobilized helplessness that leaves you fighting to regain control? What if there's more to it? Is your mind playing tricks on you, or is something bigger going on?
From a medical perspective, sleep paralysis is what's known as parasomnia, a strange event that happens during sleep. It occurs in the transition into or out of REM sleep, the stage where our most vivid dreams occur. During REM, the brain paralyzes our voluntary muscles so we don't physically act out our dreams. In sleep paralysis, you wake up mentally before your body has fully released that paralysis. The result? You're awake, conscious, but unable to move or speak. Pair that with helplessness with vivid dream imagery spilling into our waking life, and you get the terrifying sense of something being in the room with you. Stress, irregular sleep schedules, and sleep deprivation can all increase this likelihood. Despite the medical explanation, countless cultures view sleep paralysis as far more than a glitch in the brain. It's a doorway to something beyond. Across many traditions, the shadowy intruder is not seen as a hallucination, but as a malevolent force. Demons, spirits, or other dark beings pressing down on your chest, choking you, or simply radiating pure terror. Folklore from Newfoundland speaks on this night hag, while the ancient Greeks described the incubus phenomenon, creatures tormenting the sleep. On the flip side, some spiritual traditions interpret sleep paralysis as an opportunity, not an attack. Here, the paralysis is a threshold, a liminal state where the soul can slip free of the body. Many who practice lucid dreaming or astral projection even use sleep paralysis deliberately, treating it as a launch pad into out of body experiences or other realms of existence. In some cultures, the figures seen aren't demons at all, but ancestors. In this view, sleep paralysis is the moment when the living and the dead can communicate, when guidance, warnings, or important messages can break through from beyond the veil. Whether you see sleep paralysis as a neurological hiccup, a brush with the demonic, or a doorway to higher realms, one thing is universal. The experience is unforgettable, terrifying, and steeped in mystery. You're walking into a small antique shop you've never stepped foot into, but everything about the shop feels strangely familiar. The lady at the register engages in small chit chat with a customer, a bored child pulling on their mother's clothes, even the strange antique mirror you picked up. You're having a moment of, I've been here before, I've seen this exact moment before. You're experiencing a moment of deja vu. Having a moment of panic, you put the mirror down and hurriedly rush out the door. Most people have experienced, and you have probably heard, a lot of theories surrounding deja vu. But what exactly is it? Deja vu is that eerie sensation of living through a moment that feels strangely familiar, even though you know it's happening for the first time. Scientists, psychologists, and spiritual traditions have all tried to explain it, but no single theory has been universally proven. Here are some of the most common ideas. One leading explanation suggests that deja vu is a glitch in memory processing. The temporal lobe, which helps manage both short and long term memory, may briefly misfire. A brand new experience could get filed into long term memory instead of short term memory, tricking you into feeling like you've been there before. Another theory suggests that deja vu can happen if your attention is momentarily distracted. Your brain still takes in the scene subconsciously, and when your focus returns, it already feels familiar, like your mind hit the replay button without you noticing the first playthrough. From a neuroscience angle, deja vu may simply be a harmless brain hiccup. Electrical signals in the memory centers might fire in the wrong sequence, creating a false sense of familiarity. This theory is supported by patients with temporal lobe epilepsy who often experience intense deja vu right before a seizure. In traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Kabbalistic Judaism, deja vu is sometimes seen as a memory surfacing from a past life, an echo of an experience your soul has carried across lifetimes. Some spiritual views suggest deja vu is a sign that you're on the right path, It's seen as a glimpse of the soul recognizing an event it already knows from a broader spiritual timeline. In mystical traditions, deja vu is sometimes linked to the Akashic Records, a cosmic library of all human thoughts, actions, and events. In this view, deja vu is a moment when your consciousness brushes up against the universal archive.
So, like with the deja vu, I've always thought about it similar to that one where you're hitting a checkpoint in
Mhm.
your life. That's how I've always viewed it. Sylvia Brown, she writes about it in her book, and that's how she's explained it. Explained it is like basically with your blueprint that you create before you come here. When you reach something off your list of things to accomplish, that's that deja vu feeling. That's how I've always felt about it.
Well, I'm not sure what deja vu feeling I had the very first time because I was on the shitter.
I forgot about that.
So, cosmic checkpoint, congratulations, Tina. I have no idea.
You've had a lot of other deja vu
I
moments
get them
too.
a lot. I get them all the time.
Yeah,
So,
I've been getting them more recently.
it's stated that it's most common between the ages of 15 and 25. Stress and fatigue can increase how often it happens. People who travel frequently or who have higher levels of education often report more deja vu experiences. For most people, deja vu is completely normal, strange, fleeting, and harmless. But if it starts happening very often or is paired with symptoms like headaches, it might be worth checking into with a doctor to rule out neurological issues. Whether it's a brain glitch, a past life resurfacing, or a peek into cosmic memory, deja vu continues to blur the line between science and mystery. And maybe that's why it feels so unsettling when it happens. What if your deja vu is just you remembering your other self in another timeline? How many of you know where the famous line, Mr. Anderson, comes from?
Mr. Anderson.
Maybe you've seen the movie where Neo enters the Matrix to fight the elusive character Morpheus, whom he believes is the most dangerous man alive. But what is the Matrix and what happens when it starts to glitch out? The phrase glitch in the Matrix has become a go to way of describing those bizarre, reality bending moments that just don't seem to make sense. The idea comes straight from the 1999 sci fi classic The Matrix, where the main character Neo discovers that the world he knows is actually an elaborate computer simulation created by machines. In the film, a glitch is a clue that the simulated reality has been tampered with, like deja vu, which Neo experiences when the code of the Matrix is altered. In everyday use, though, the phrase has escaped Hollywood and taken on a life of its own. Now, people use it to describe uncanny coincidences, unexplainable phenomena, and moments that feel like cracks in the fabric of reality itself. Reports of time freezing, people or objects suddenly vanishing, or strange moments where an animal appears to hover unnaturally midair. Seeing someone in two places at once, or finding an item in a spot where you just know it wasn't a moment earlier. Think
Daily occurrence for me.
Thinking of a random person only to immediately run into them, or noticing a sequence of events that feels too perfectly aligned to be chance. Just like the movie, many people interpret deja vu as a mini glitch, evidence that something in the program has shifted. Witnessing repeating patterns, textures, or odd visuals that look like something out of a video game as if the graphics of reality have failed to load correctly.
There's been a lot of talk about the whole glitch in the Matrix. I see so many videos like where that bird's frozen in midair. Have you
Mhm.
seen that one?
I don't think I've seen it, but I've seen it in real life.
You've seen a bird frozen?
It wasn't like frozen, it was just flapping like it was trying to fly, but it wasn't going anywhere and there wasn't wind.
Hmm.
It was crazy. I think it was when I was working in Brown County.
Oh my
I know
god.
I told somebody about it. It happened a while back that I tripped out about it pretty good. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I definitely I wanna rewatch the whole Matrix movies because I didn't fully grasp that whole concept until now, and I firmly believe that we're living in some kind of, simulation, you know?
mhm.
Um, and it's kinda trippy for me, like, if I play The Sims because it's kinda like this it's like, what if okay. the people I'm playing are they like, what if my Sims actually think that they're real? And then there's somebody playing me on the other side, and then so on.
Mm, could be. I don't know.
Live in a mathematical world.
This cultural fascination ties into a bigger idea, the simulation hypothesis. Philosopher Nick Bostrom famously argued that if advanced civilizations can run countless computer simulations of their ancestors, then statistically, it's far more likely that we're living inside of one of those simulations than in base reality. In short, our entire existence might be just a digital code. Of course, skeptics point out the quirks of human perception, the frequency illusion. Once you notice something, you tend to see it more everywhere.
True.
The confirmation bias, we remember things that support our beliefs, like the notion of living in a simulation while ignoring what doesn't fit,
Mm.
and memory errors. Our brains are imperfect recorders. False memories and distortions can make events feel stranger than they really are. Whether you see them as cosmic clues, brain glitches, or just fun coincidences, glitches in the matrix capture our fascination with the possibility that reality itself isn't what it seems. After all, if this is a simulation, who's to say those odd little hiccups aren't the system showing its cracks?
True. One YouTuber that I really follow, Morbid, he's on the whole Hyperion theory, and he says that the world is mathematically built and created.
Hmm.
And that's just like something that's like really stuck with me. I think it's a huge possibility. And then I'm
You
like,
just don't know.
well, can I find the cheat codes? I want to find the cheat codes. I want to give myself billions of dollars and health.
Right? While we may never know if things that go bump in the night are truly the spirits of the dead or simply echoes bleeding through from another world, maybe the veil between realities is far thinner than we imagine. And maybe that unsettling feeling of being watched in the dark isn't the dead reaching out at all, it's something else, something that doesn't belong here. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Ghost Tracks Podcast. Again, I'm Tina.
And I'm Molly.
And we hope that you'll tune in next time as we keep pulling back the curtain on the mysteries that haunt our world. You can find us anywhere that you find podcasts, which you should know because you are listening to this right now. But in case you want to share us out, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Oh my gosh, there's so many more. Just look us up, Ghost Tracks Podcast. Make sure you like and follow our TikTok. We have Facebook and Instagram as well. We are going to try to get our lives together so that we are continuing to go live on Fridays beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok. We might do some like intermittent crazy lives here and there,
So we
depending.
can do what we want.
Yeah, just depending on what we have going on. Because we do have an event this coming Friday that would interfere with that live time. So we're not sure if we're just going to go live there at the event. It's a vending event, so we can just kind of hang out and chat, or we can just switch up and go live earlier on a Saturday. We're not really sure yet.
Just flying by the seat of our
Yeah,
pants.
we are. We're just trying to get through October at this point.
Mhm.
We'll be recording as we're able to for the remainder of the month, and then hopefully things will slow down a little for us, and we'll have some more availability on our weekends off from our big kid jobs, which will allow us to be here doing this instead of running all over the world. So, but until we are in your ear holes again, no matter where you're finding us at, keep your lights low, your curiosity high. Most of all, stay
Stay
creepy.
creepy.
Bye.
Toodaloo.